He smiled so sweet with a tear in his eye, but a weasel can sniff when it's time to lie. Fabled News presents The Lizard and the Weasel. In the middle of Dustville, where tumbleweeds spin and gossip gets carried by dry desert wind, lived a lizard named Lou with a sunny green back, who liked to stay neutral and mind his own track. Lou loved his routines, a warm rock at noon, a nap in the shade, and a cricket or two. He stayed out of drama, of trouble, of fight. He liked peace and calm and things done just right. But one blazing day, with the sun hanging mean, a weasel showed up with a look far too keen. His suit was all slick and his smile was wide, and he carried a sign that said, "Need a ride." "Good lizard," he called, "won't you help me get through? The sand's far too hot and it's melting my shoe. I must cross the canyon to reach yonder hill, but alas, I lack claws with your climbing skill." Now Lou was unsure. He had heard weasels bite. They sweet-talk by day, then sneak off in the night. But the weasel looked weepy, with snot in his fur, and waved a big note that said, "No bites, no sir." "I'm slow and I'm sweet," he said with a grin. "Just ask my grandma. I've never bit kin." "All right," said the lizard, "but you must behave. No trickery, scheming, or planning a raid." "Cross my heart," said the weasel, then climbed on with flair. Lou sighed and began the long hike with care. They'd walked past a stump and a mushroom or three when the weasel let out a wild cackle of glee. "Once sold a poor rabbit a map to the moon, said he'd reach it by dinner time, maybe by noon." Lou gave a blink. "Wait, that's not very kind." The weasel just grinned. "Well, he signed, didn't mind. He gave me his carrots and danced off with cheer. You can't blame me if the moon don't appear." Lou slowed his steps, his brow wrinkled deep, but the weasel just chuckled and bounded a leap. "Relax, silly lizard, I'm joking. I jest, or maybe I'm not. Who can say? Take a guess." Lou gave a nod, but his tail gave a twitch. Something felt off in that laugh and that pitch. He'd heard jokes before, but not one so cold. That chuckle had teeth, and the tail felt old. He stared at the trail, then glanced at his guest, who rode on his back like a prince at a fest. The weasel just hummed and wiggled his toes. Lou thought, that grin knows more than it shows. The sun had grown low and the trees stretched wide as a hush settled over the mountainside, and Lou, feeling heavy, recalled with a jolt the tales and the jokes and the wink full of fault. He told me, thought Lou, with a grin and a shrug, that he'd trick and he'd lie with a smile and a hug. I laughed like a fool, let the warning go by. But now I see clearer, and oh my, oh my. They climbed over pebbles, then over a ridge. They scrambled and wobbled across a small bridge. But just near the top, when the end was in sight, the weasel leaned down and gave Lou a big bite. "Ow, why'd you do that?" cried Lou in a spin. "We're nearly there, and you swore with a grin." The weasel just shrugged as he slid down the tail, his voice full of charm as he vanished from scale. "I told you I wouldn't, but words come so cheap, and biting's just something I do in my sleep." Lou limped to the top, now a little less green, grumbling, "That's the last time I trust something mean." He taped up a sign where the canyon began. "Beware of sweet-talkers with teeth and a plan." Lou brushed off the dust and said with a grin, "I'll help folks again, but they don't just hop in. Next time I'll ask, 'What's your plan, my friend?' kindness is smart, and I won't pretend. When someone is known for a trick or a bite, don't trust them to suddenly do what is right. Some creatures will tell you the truth in disguise, with jokes full of riddles and glints in their eyes. Laugh if you like, dismiss what they say, but they mean it, dear listener, just not in your way.